Afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I am your host, Tiffany Daniels. Now, I want to go over with you something today, something a little bit different. I know a lot of us in the JD community and in other fan communities have been getting hit by these scammers claiming to be particular celebrities. And at some point, after a certain period of wooing you, they will then proceed to ask for money, usually in the form of iTunes cards or Amazon gift cards. One such individual happened to be someone with disabilities. Due to the pandemic, their caregiver could not be there quite as often, and at a suggestion up to a friend to kind of abate some of the loneliness all of us are going through, created a Facebook account, and they went ahead and got hold of her on there. Fortunately, the scammer did not get any money, but I kind of wanted to go over this because, as I always say, forearmed is forewarned, and these folks just love to target those, especially in the disability community, because more often than not, we are seen as real easy marks. So let's just go over the basics real quick, and if you happen to be right now involved with one of these scammers, I'm going to give you a little bit of information of where you can go ahead and get them reported. Okay. So, going over this real quick, most of these scammers, they'll get a hold of you in one of the three main social medias, Twitter, Instagram, or they'll also get a hold of you on Facebook. They will be already watching your usual social media, find out exactly who you're interested in, or in some of our cases, who we're championing. They will also find out, because a lot of us like me will put up if we have a particular diagnosis, especially if we are involved with advocacy on any level. And these folks will then become the celebrities or somebody who's involved with one of your areas of interest in order to get in there with you. Now, these folks have a really good tell. Almost every single one of them that I have come across, whenever they send you a personal message, always starts with, "Hello, fan." Now, no person that I know of in the celebrity world is going to start out a communication with "Hello, fan." That should be a dead giveaway. Number two, if you ever see something like this pop up in your DMs, the first thing you're going to want to check is, do they have a blue check mark? Blue check marks indicate if it is an official account. Most celebrities are always going to have that blue check mark right there for you to be able to see. If someone's entering your DMs claiming to be a celebrity that you support, and you do not see a blue check mark, just to be on the safe side, go ahead and block and then report it right away. Who knows if they got more information on the person they're pretending to be or not, right? Best to err on the side of caution. Now, folks, when you have a disability like me, especially if they can discern if you have a neurological disability, we tend to get hit harder than most by scammers, whether it is in personal life or whether it's online. If you need a good prime example of that, just take a look at poor JD. Most of us are very isolated, even before the pandemic. And especially if you are a celebrity with a disability, you're twice as isolated as everybody else. So these people will just get their way in there and proceed to be whatever you need them to be in order to get theirs. Because you having a neurological disability, they think that you're going to be easier to manipulate. So folks in the disability community, we have absolutely got to be on our guard, because they are gunning for us and the elderly at alarming rates, especially since the pandemic broke out. Now, if you are finding yourself now in a situation with one of these scammers, there are some things that you are indeed able to do. First off, if you haven't given any money, don't do it. You can take, if you have their email or username, whatever information you have, screenshots of whatever chats they've sent you, and then go on to fcc.com, you are able to go ahead and report them. Some folks have even put those screenshots on the main website, on articles on the website, so people will know to look for a specific user and have a good idea as to how they talk to their marks. Number 2, you always have the option of going immediately to the police. There's not a lot they can do locally, this is true, but it is good to just spread general awareness out there that this is going on. Now, number 3, if you find yourself in this sort of situation, and if you've given them any information at all, and this comes from when I was working a call center for the USAA Project Fraud Prevention Program, what you need to do is call your bank immediately. Have them go over with you any charges that seem unusual or irregular. You are able to claim that those are fraudulent, file a fraud report. If you do that, you will be temporarily given credit to the amount that was taken out of your account. They will close out your debit card and start the process of issuing you a new one. I would also suggest changing all your passwords and identification with your bank if you have given any information about your card or your bank account. Now, in the wider JD community, people like me are extremely attractive targets to scammers. Due to the fact that we have a neurological disability, a lot of us are targeted due to the fact that we are seen as easy marks. And yes, it's an ableist viewpoint that they believe that we don't really understand exactly what they're doing. But that's neither here nor there. It is our job as a community to spread awareness to folks. Let people know that celebrities like JD do not DM, they do not follow your account in general. They're not going to be sending you personal messages. He has his 2 social media accounts, his official, the Facebook and the Insta. Both of those are being handled by a friend of his, since he has difficulty with technology. We need to keep reiterating that fact, letting people know that fact, so if they are suddenly contacted by someone who is claiming to be him, they're going to know right off the bat it's not him. He barely knows his own password, if he knows his own password for his own Instagram account. More than likely, he has to have help in accessing some of his own DM messages. I have no doubt that he's seen them, but I'm assuming he probably needs assistance in getting them pulled up. I'm sorry. Okay, I have my own technology troubles. Fair enough. Fair enough. Not gonna go in that. But anyways, folks, we gotta just look out for each other. If we see someone that we follow and they are being followed by a fake JD account, or if we see someone with a fake JD account follow us, block and report every single time. Every single time. We need to get screenshots of those folks that are pretending to be celebrities and shoot them all over social media so that people can know that unless it's got that blue check mark, it cannot be trusted. Now, for those who have unfortunately lost money to these folks, I hope in the future we can all put our heads together and come up with something to assist the folks that have been taken in by these folks. And I've got a bone to pick before we go. I have seen online and on YouTube these folks who will come on and say, well, if they believe it's the actual celebrity, they deserve to be taken. Some of these folks are people with neurological disabilities. Their brain doesn't run like yours, okay? Alright? Don't tell me that just because someone doesn't necessarily know that they're being taken for a ride because they don't have access to all the same information that you do, that they deserve to be taken for a ride. How horrible and cynical of a person do you have to be to say things like that? And I've seen it on more than one occasion. And I would surely appreciate it if you're going to be in my comments that you don't say that here. I will boot you faster than your head can spin. Sorry, that's been bothering me now for a while. Alright, folks. That's really all I got this afternoon. Just, folks, be careful. If you're not necessarily a public figure like myself, don't be letting all that personal information out online. Just be careful what you do let on. Because these predators are everywhere. And they are worse than ever before because so many people are at home during the pandemic. People are getting lonely and desperate. Make sure to report them. And people, if you are contacted by one of these folks, please go to the FCC website. It's fcc.com. I've reported at least a couple there myself. Let them know what's going on. Sometimes Twitter and Facebook and all these social media programs are not going to always look out for you. So FCC.com is definitely going to be a good resource for you. Don't forget speaking with the authorities as well. Alright, that's all we have for this afternoon, folks. I'll be seeing you a little bit later on some of these streams coming on here a little later this afternoon. Now, as always, we don't get that many views here on this channel, folks, and the few that we do get do tend to get removed by YouTube. So, as always, please don't forget to hit that like button, hit subscribe, and don't forget to make some noise there in the comments. I do appreciate your time this afternoon. I hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.